Hey y'all, it's been a minute. So I have two messages that I want to share with you guys. So bear with me, stick around, some good stuff. So the first message is, I want to encourage you to understand and know and believe that you are right where you're supposed to be. And I say this because the message has been given to me multiple times over a long period of time, that there are things brewing in the background for me that have not surfaced yet, and that they will when the time is right. And I now know what that message means. So let's backtrack to about 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I knew or wanted to be a massage therapist. I had the desire in my heart to want to do this, and for many reasons did not pursue that journey. I also knew that I wanted to be in some type of mission field where I was giving messages. I won't use the word preaching anymore, but I just knew that I had a love for humanity, a love for God, and that I wanted to help people with that. Now, during that time period when I had these feelings and these thoughts and these ideas, I knew deep down, just as I knew back when I was 12 years old, where I needed to live. And there's a message about that in a previous video if you want to go back through my videos. I knew that it was not the right time, and that I personally was not ready. I was not mature enough, emotionally and mentally mature enough. And the world around me was not ready. I needed to grow up. And there were things that had been taking place in my life at that moment and that were yet to come, that would have stopped me from moving in that direction. So, endlessly to say, the timing wasn't right. Me beginning this journey slowly but surely over the last 15 years, 20 years, getting to where I'm at today, the timing is right. The timing is now, and it's moving even more in that direction. So that is a message I want to share with you guys, that you are always right where you're supposed to be in the right moments of your life. And that there is always this underlining current that is tugging us and pulling us in the right direction. And sometimes we're consciously aware of the messages in front of our face, whether it be the knowledge that we have of numbers, or trusting another person to give us a message, knowing our hearts and, listening to our intuition. There's lots of different things. And some of that is us just not quite being ready to understand the messages when they come. And that takes time to sometimes dissect, because we have many things that go on in the world, on our daily lives, that kind of interfere and put blocks up for us. So the other message I have, and I have to take notes because sometimes I forget things or I'll get ahead of myself. So the other message was, this one came to me randomly. I was guided to a sermon this past week. I listened to it because of another story and backstory to that, and I won't get into all of that, but I wanted to hear what this person had to say in this message that had something to do with the thing at the end. So the message that this person said, that he was telling a story about David in the Bible and how God had promised David that he and his bloodline would always be protected. And I'll take this out of context, what I'm about to say, and what I know to be true based on my own observations, my own intuition, and the wisdom that I have attained. That message isn't so much particularly true only to one particular person. That message of protection is given to every single human being. Every single human being. And some may disagree with me on this, and that's okay. I don't really care. But the reason I say this is because when we talk about, there was also messages in here about our ancestors and our bloodlines, and how sometime or in our past, the choices that were made by our ancestors could have potentially become like a stigma for us, blocking us from having fortunes, having success in our life. And some people would have taken that as, oh, there was a curse on the family, or because of Mom, Joe, Blow, Pop, whoever in the past generations made this choice, and now it's affected the rest of our lives because that's what our name is attached to. And I want to scratch all of that and help you to understand that no person can make you who you are. You do that. There are generational traumas and wounds that are attached to our bloodlines. There are, in my own research of my past and my ancestry, and even looking at numerology charts, based on parental and maternal, on both sides of my family, and the numbers that were given in those charts and the similarities to the positions of those numbers and what those emotions stood around, there was a frequency, there was an attraction, a magnet attraction that took place between the partnerships of my family bloodlines. And in those frequencies were wounds and trauma and belief systems and thought processes that were what drew people together, because we essentially are drawn together to heal each other. But when we choose to stay in this victim mindset and this, oh, woe is me mindset, or I am this person because of how I speak to myself, or what I believe to be true based on what my family's life was, or what I've endured in trauma, that is the curse, or whatever term you want to use, the trauma that stays within the bloodlines, the generational traumas. So that is what I believe to be true about that message, not what it was a promise from God to one particular person. It was given to everybody. But we choose things in our life. We choose to stay in places. We choose to stay in relationships that are unhealthy for us, and then we succumb to this mindset of we're victims, or we can't get out of this, or we're stuck, or we're resistant to change because of fear. You know, all of these things that take place in our lives every single day. And I think that now the world is finally waking up to understanding how we create our realities, how we can manifest things for our futures, that it's no longer just about seeing is believing. It is about believing and then seeing. It's that whole faith-based understanding that if you believe this to be true, then it will be true. But you have to take a few steps further and digging into that you create your own reality. So you make the choices in your life that create that reality and manifest things. You also, there's a whole component here of intertwining and seeing the connection between the mind, the body, the emotional. I mean, I had through this journey understanding that I stayed in my mind a lot. My mind moved really fast and thoughts moved really fast, and I understood things pretty quickly, and I had wisdom and I had understanding of things pretty quickly. But what I didn't have, and I've now attained, is where my physical and emotional body finally matched up to what I was thinking. And it was now fully in alignment to where my soul wants me to go, where my spirit desires, the desires of my spirit to want me to go. So, in honoring that and honing in on that, and recognizing also that there's always a cause and effect to everything, and that it's up to us to pay attention to what lessons are in those cause and effects and not deem them as bad or good. They just are. They just are. And you get to choose which direction you want to go in next. So I hope that these two messages make some sense to you, maybe resonate with you. If they don't, it's no big deal. I just wanted to share it. And you guys can take it wherever you want to take it. I hope you have a great day.